Hello, Meaty Pals.
I'm full of baloney.
And I'm packing the sausage. Welcome to the Totally BS podcast.
We are two meatheads with ADHD, hoping to entertain you with our nonsense. For today's topics, we're going to be introducing ourselves, talking about how we met, and giving you a taste of our ever-changing, completely random banter.
Heck yeah, and none of that was scripted. We totally came up with that ourselves.
No, I'm not reading a script!
Me either, oh my god!
What's our intro question, sausage?
We are starting off from a question from one of our favorite books. It's 4,000 Questions to Get to Know Anyone and Everyone. I don't remember the author, but I'll maybe pop up the book here in post.
Maybe.
Planning on doing a question at the beginning of each episode. So our question for today is, do you like working with a tablet computer, or do you like it better than a laptop or desktop computer? Now, by tablet computer, does that mean like an iPad?
I would imagine so. A tablet is generally the generic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine a tablet is like the generic. If you can't use the word iPad, you use tablet for everything else.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah. I think it depends on the situation. For like work and stuff, I like a desktop computer. For like note taking and stuff, tablets are great. And laptop, technically not supposed to be on your lap because it overheats.
Fries your semen.
Oh god, cooks your babies. What about you?
Apparently that's true because it's on the internet.
Yeah, everything's true on the internet.
Everything. Even everything we're going to say today. For me, yeah, I haven't really worked on a tablet. No, I did. I did for a while. I had a Chromebook for a little bit that I had used because everything that I had was Google Docs. But I really didn't like it for work because it just didn't have the full functionality that I needed, like a Microsoft Word. I mean, by full functionality, I mean there was only a couple of things that I needed that I couldn't use, but I didn't know how much I relied on them until I was like, oh hey, try not using them. Mm-hmm. I'm not super into like software art, so I don't think I have a real need for a tablet. But as far as like desktop or laptop, definitely desktop. I had a pseudo gaming laptop when I was in college, and it was basically, it's like my dad had a deal with some computer company, Dell. That's what it was. His business had a deal with Dell. He got discounts on a computer, so it was like, oh, it was a good enough discount where it's like, oh, hey, I can get like a $600 laptop, or pay $600 for a $600 laptop, but it like really costs like almost $2,000 because the discount was that good.
That's a really good discount.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't I wasn't gonna pass that up.
Gosh, yeah.
But the only problem though is with laptops, the pieces to them, they wear out way faster than desktops, mm-hmm. and they are hard. In my experience, they are hard to replace pieces. Unless you absolutely, like, if you have a job as a computer tech repair, then yeah, sure, you can do that, no problem, because you know how the whole big picture of how the thing works. But just like, oh man, my brother was a computer tech repair for a while, and yeah, he thought laptops were nearly impossible to replace until he got the job because he actually had the tools to do it.
Right.
And yeah, and then so he was able to just like, then he was able to repair laptops, but they're way harder to do than desktops. Desktops you can actually kind of customize to your liking and fitting. So yeah, I like work or play or whatever, definitely desktops.
Yeah, and like I am definitely one who like never got into repairing laptops or computers or anything.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard to get into.
Yeah.
For me, it was.
Right. And it's like usually when one laptop would like crap out, I would use a laptop until you open like
Yep.
Chrome or something, and it would be so slow opening it. And I'm like, oh no, it's fine. It's just gonna take another 5 minutes. We can watch this YouTube video in just a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, like, that 2 minutes will kill you, though. Like, if you tried doing that now, like, if you had to wait 1 minute, 2 minutes for Chrome to open, it'd been like, no, throw it away, it's done.
Yep, yeah, I have no patience, and it's really bad. Like, the instant gratification is not always a good thing to have. It's like,
I don't know. Being able to open a program and complete the work you want to complete, I don't think that's instant gratification, though. I think this is more of just like, I need to complete a task. This task only takes, like, 5 to 10 minutes, but if the program you're using takes about 5 to 10 minutes to open, that's a different problem.
Yeah, for sure. I get that at work every once in a while, because, like, we have gaming computers that my boss pre-bought, and on them, they don't work fast, and I do a lot of, like, entering stuff, and it's so obnoxious when one thing, I click it, and it's like, loading. I'm like, come on, I need to do this thing, go! No patience!
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna go back to that honestly though. If opening the thing takes longer to actually then do the thing, then that's a problem.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, next topic. I started doing the snapping thing because of Marisha.
Oh, good for you. Good. That's such a great quality to pick up on.
It's one of the many okay things that I picked up from that group. Like, holy jeez.
True. Okay, but until you pick up Book Hat though.
Book Hat.
Until you
I
pick
did
up
Book Hat the other day. Full Book Hat picture.
Nothing like a good Book Hat.
Tink.
Tink.
We're both drinking the alcohols. I got Ashland's seltzer, which is orange pineapple, and it is refreshing. I got hair in my eye. What about you?
Well, I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to say what we're drinking because we're not sponsored, but
oh my goodness, I can say what I'm drinking. This is something I finished the other day. You gonna give me trouble for that?
I don't know. I've seen other people get, like, weird about it.
I think it's more that they are sponsored by other things, and sometimes people are like, you're promoting whatever you're drinking, blah, 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 but we're not. We're just, like, new people doing our thing.
All right. So I have something called an Obsidian Stout. It's a Oregon brew, I think. And I don't know how I feel about it. I've had, like... This is, like, number 4 out of the 6-pack I've had today. No, not today. Not in one day.
You're getting saucy.
Saucy. But no, I don't know how I feel about it yet. I like stouts, but it doesn't, like, it has the thickness of a stout.
Ooh,
but not the creaminess of a stout.
Ooh. You're just getting all the innuendos. Goodness.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Well...
Yeah.
I just realized we went this far and we haven't said our actual names yet. Just sausage and bologna.
It's bologna, thank you very much.
Oh gosh. Well, I am actually Elwin. Nice to meet people on the other side of the camera.
Oh wait, not me. Other people.
Yes.
Okay.
This is Brian. He is awesome.
Yes. I am Brian. Also go by Baloney.
Bologna.
No. How dare you?
How dare? Super. How dare? How dare?
Super, how dare?
Yes.
All right. Well, our first official topic for tonight. Yeah. So basically, just how did both of our crazy ness collide? Well,
because the universe foretold.
Yeah, right. As it was prophesized.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we had a mutual friend who kind of had like a don't even think it was like an official thing, but it was like a cosplay group, like a cosplay community that just kind of like everyone knew someone from a cosplay event of some sort, either through modeling or photography. And yeah, my usual friends that I went to con with, they kind of like we just kind of, I wouldn't say they dished me, but we definitely got like we kind of took interest, like our interest split, I think is what it more was. And yeah, I just ran into Brennan in his like fucking pimp suit Mario cosplay.
Yes.
And I knew him from a lightsaber fighting group. And he's like, "You party now," and I was like, "Oh, all right. I don't have anything going on."
That was such a good impression of him. That's just.
Oh, it was, isn't it? Like that's almost exactly as how it happened.
Oh gosh, yeah. For me, I met them a little different. That was like back in 2017 is when we met, and it was my first con by myself, and I just like ran into a bunch of random people, and I was like giving out my number or my Facebook Messenger or stuff like that. And I try to make friends with everyone. And there was like a random meetup at a mall that someone put together. And then from that group, a lot of those people invited their friends. And then Brennan was like, "Everyone, go to my house. Let's party!"
Yeah. Again, that sounds like a very Brennan thing.
Oh, it is. He's just like, "Hey, you, let's go. You're gonna do this now because I said so." But not in a bad way. He's just very easily convincing.
He is, and with so few words, just his face of happiness and like, "I would have a good time. You're gonna have a good time. We're all gonna have a good time."
Yes, always positive. It's fucking great. Oh, by the way, this boy is in Oregon. Yes? No.
Oh, me? Yeah. Yeah,
Oregon.
I'm in Oregon.
Okay, I always get Oregon and Washington mixed up. I don't know why. And then I'm in Arizona, dry as fuck. We met here, and then he moved there.
Yeah, that's why I left Arizona. That's why I left.
Yeah, I know. I want to. That's like in the plans to get out of here someday.
Yeah.
But back to the story real quick. After going to a few of those parties, me and him ran into each other, and it was just the generic, "Oh, hi, my name's this, nice to meet you, cool." And then we kind of like hung out a little bit, and then the next party or so...
It was either the second or third. It was like it was quite early. It was like first party was like, "Oh, I met a shit ton of people," with the notion I think I introduced not just you but everyone there. It's like, "Hi, I will forget your name unless I meet you like 2 or 3 more times."
I feel like I recall that, and that's just very true in general for like me as well. It's so hard to remember people's names. It's like you got to take their name and take something really fucking silly that they do and just mash it so it sticks in your brain better. And that's what we did.
Yeah, and our version of that was like party 2. I'm pretty sure it was 2, and then we were friends by 3. Yeah. It was just like, "Your name is it starts with the salami. Salami, right?
Salami. Then you're baloney."
And we just referred to each other as that for like ever?
For so long. Yeah. Until we actually remembered each other's names.
Yeah. And even then for a while I was like, "Nah, bitch, you're salami, man." Like.
Yep. Yeah. That's just
oh my gosh. For the sake of the show and the jokes, it's changed to sausage, but like sausages technically can be made, or salami can technically be made from sausage, so it still fits.
Exactly. Yes. Both work. I got 2 names, bitches. Speaking of, I technically did have a different name back then. My name used to be Selena, but up until this year, I've had it changed to Owen. So that's why the sausage makes more sense back then.
Yeah, salami makes more sense back then?
Both.
Oh, both technically. Yeah,
salami.
Both, technically.
See, it's so hard. We were...
Sausage.
Sausage. Yep.
It's going to be sausage now.
I am the sausage. I like it.
Oh,
that is gorgeous.
That is. That really is. All right. So, sausage, while we're introducing ourselves, what are 3 things that you are super into?
Well, top thing that's been going on with me right now is I've been working on cosplays more. We just had the Phoenix Fan Fusion back in May, which I went to. I had some pretty awesome cosplays, and then I freaking got COVID the first time I had it. I'm so mad.
Sorry, that's mean. I shouldn't laugh at that.
No, totally laugh at it because like I should have done more protection of myself, but yeah, no, I went and was like, I'm boosted, I don't need a mask, and that was freaking stupid. That was so stupid. I got boosted.
It's even better because that's a gamer term that usually means someone else played my account to get me to a higher rank, but I'm playing at this level and I'm at this level.
I didn't even realize that's a gaming joke. That's even better.
That makes it better. That makes it so much better.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You were there being boosted.
Boosted as fuck. Oh gosh.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, no, but the cosplay's starting to be a bigger thing for me. I'm working on an Ashton cosplay from Critical Role. Got the hammer going right now. I haven't worked on any of the clothes yet, but that's one of my big things. Another thing that I'm... What?
I just had a thought. How are you going to do, like, the glass skull?
I saw someone work it out with glue sticks, so I'm going to try that.
But, what?
It's hard to explain. So the gems, or the spiky hair, which is just like gems protruding from his head, they would take glow sticks, cut them in half, and shave them to make them look like crystals, and then paint them purple. And then they would put them into a wig cap that they had. I don't know what to do with the gem yet. That's definitely going to be something I'm going to have to work on. This is going to be one of the harder cosplays for me to do because there's just so much detail on it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of is like, you can, like, for wigs and everything, that part's easy, but how do you make a space for, like, see inside my brain cavity? Like...
Well, when I was working on my Shira sword, Journey was definitely trying to find different ways that we could maybe put lights in it. So he might be my techie help to make that glow, because Ashton's head glows, so I gotta make it look awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can get some type of, like, phosphorescent-esque material and kind of, like... I have no idea what that would entail, but I'm almost thinking, like whatever paint that they use for that glows under a black light.
Oh,
and, like, paint that over the spot.
Get that super duper bright. That would be cool. I like that idea. Yeah, there's a lot of different things I can do with it. I'm just not great at sewing. Like, I always get the bases. Like, if I wanted to do something like this, I would get the base of the clothes and then build on top of it. But I'm not good at, like, actually sewing stuff, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that.
I mean, that's, like, the entire premise for my Joker cosplay I made.
Right!
Like, I got a fucking, like, lodge vest. It's, like, clearly a backwoods lodge vest that, like, only 3 people have ever bought from the gift shop. But it's green, and then, I was just like, oh, okay, make a, add some do things on it, and... Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like
it's
sometimes...
a technical term. That's a technical term.
Yes, very technical. That's your details.
Yeah.
It's easier to do that than to try and, like, actually make the clothes.
True, but I can also see, like, the draw to, like, being able to say, fuck yeah, bitches, I totally made this by hand, and I'm amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to say that, but that's in the that's for future Elwyn to deal with. Like, for now, I can get happiness of just having the cosplay that I made mostly myself.
One thing I remember having that same problem because there was a cosplay that I was working on. Don't remember what it was, but I remember I was looking for balls.
Balls? You were looking for balls?
No, I was not looking for balls.
You don't have balls?
I do have balls. I'm just
Are you sure?
Because I know. Let me check. Yeah, they're right here. Fuck
yeah.
No, but patterns. That's it. That's the word I couldn't think of. Is patterns. Patterns for, like, using Evafoam for, like, making armor pieces. If you can get buy a pattern, make it once, kind of like not troubleshoot it. I can't think of words right now, but like make the pattern, see what it looks like, and then try altering the pattern to try to make it look like something else.
Have you tried the duct tape thing?
Oh, like duct tape your arm
Body.
and then
Yeah.
or body. I actually did that. I don't remember what I was trying to make. No, I do remember. It was the one that we tried making. The Skyrim Forsworn cosplay where we went dumpster diving for animal parts.
Oh my god, what happened to those bones?
Oh, they're still buried in my parents' backyard, but my dad's an asshole and like dumped stuff on the spot where they were buried, and so it's like, all right, well, I'm not getting those back.
That sucks. Yeah, one day he was like trying to figure out how to do a Skyrim cosplay, and he's like, I just need deer bones. And I think I mentioned, well, don't you go hunting? Didn't you say you get bones from up there? And you were like, oh, time to go to Flagstaff, let's go get bones.
So the backstory for total fucking side tangent, this is what the entire show will consist of.
Good.
So yeah, when I was in Arizona, I was super into cosplay with Elle on this. And I had this idea of making a Forsworn cosplay. I loved the look of the Forsworn from Skyrim. You haven't played the game. Forsworn is essentially like they're a group of people modeled after like a lot of the Native Americans. Very like in with nature, very wild man kind of personified. Their land was taken by the main group of people in Skyrim, the Nords, and they're trying to fight for their land back.
The fucking Americans.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Nords. And so but just God, their armor is so fucking cool. I love how it looks. And so I was going to make a whole thing on it. Now, the trick, though, is I was also kind of getting more into hunting with my dad, and we went elk hunting. I did actually so when we go elk hunting, like my dad knows how to carve the animal, essentially. Knows exactly, like, how to get, he knows how to get, like, all the pieces of the animal out, kind of that whole type of, like, kind of like not leaving anything to waste. And so, but he wouldn't just get the meat though, he would also get the skins and anything else, and he's also a blacksmith, so anything else he thinks he could work with, he would also take as well.
That's insane.
So with that, yeah, it is really insane. So with that, I also had the idea of like, well, shit, if I can get like a pelt or two, I can get enough material to make Forsworn like actual, like what the body armor looks like, and actually make it out of an animal pelt. That'd be really cool. And so, yeah, we did that, and then the last time I went hunting with him, we definitely ran out of time, and it was like Sunday. We weren't leaving from Flagstaff to Arizona. It's a 2-hour drive. We weren't leaving Flagstaff until like 7 o'clock at night, and I was mad because I had to work the next day. And at that time, I was teaching. Yeah, teachers have so much extra time to do shit like this. So, yeah, I was, like, kind of furious with him. Didn't get to collect the bones like I wanted. And so then Ella and I were just like, well, shit. Call the butcher shop up. Asked if we can go dumpster diving for animal parts. And they're like, that's weird, but I guess?
Oh, man. That was such a wild trip.
Oh, that was so fun. God, that was such a fun trip. Yeah, and then it's on one of your vlogs, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a whole video of us going dumpster diving. Yeah. Dumpster diving for animal pieces. Yeah.
Yes. So this was before the pandemic and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't come prepared with masks. The only ones that I had were these 2 dinky ones that I bought off Amazon. One had like a bear face, like a little nose and a smile, and one had a mustache. Yeah, so he's like on the dumpster. Yeah, you're like on the dumpster, like going to dive in and everything with a little mustache on your face.
I totally forgot about that. Oh my god, that was so funny.
It was wild.
And it smelled so bad in there too. I mean, yeah, of course, it's a goddamn dumpster with fucking body parts in it. Yeah, it's gonna smell bad.
Yeah, we came prepared with trash bags and like a bunch of car fresheners to help his car smell not like death.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I just, like, remember you looking over and you're like, shit, this is really deep, and you, like, pushed over some cardboard to hop in, and we're just getting in on the guts.
Yeah. I ended up taking out like essentially a whole thing of rib cages, and that I was actually going to use as a shield.
Yeah.
Like the bones were going to be the reinforcement, and then the
Yes.
whatever leftover skin scraps I had were just going to go on the front of it.
Yes.
As a shield. I was going to use leg and knee joints as a notch to put a stone for an axe, like makeshift axe.
So cool.
Probably wouldn't have been able to bring those to Comic-Con.
But that's a badass thing to have.
Like, I'm gonna have that hung up in my I'm gonna have that hung up in my house somewhere. Like shit, yeah. And then like I don't know, find a way to like cast a mold of it and like bring a foam mold to con or something.
Yeah, right. And like you can definitely replicate that with maybe like PVC pipe and like faux leather and whatnot. But like just to have the actual thing would have been so cool.
Oh, that would have been like, oh, here's a handmade stone axe I made because I'm a fucking badass.
That would be so fucking cool.
Oh, that would have been, yeah. Yeah, and then I think I was troubleshooting making a sword because the swords for Skyrim, not the Nord swords, the
Nord sword.
No, the Forsworn swords. It's just a stick, and then it's got like every like half inch, it's got like a wooden barb tied onto it, and it's just like this looks like it would fall apart before you even gave it a full swing. So that's like, no, that's got to be worked on. That is not an accurate portrayal of a sword weapon. That looks like it would hurt once and then be broken after that. So I was trying
you'd have to tie the wood on super hard.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there are methods you can use for like drilling through and then tying around with reinforcement like that. But then also you've got this stick in a hole that can like slide around on each end, and it's just like that's not gonna do what you think it's gonna do. Like, there's ways to do it. Like, if you only drill the hole partially through, you can get it to not slide out the other end, but then how do you fasten it? And it's like, there's ways to do that, but it's like, it is the amount of energy it takes to actually make that with primitive technology is not worth actually making it. It's more of a ceremonial sword at that point.
Right, if you're going to replicate it like that, you might as well do it with fake stuff and do the real thing as something that would be more solid as a weapon.
Right, yeah. I mean, really, I was just kind of thinking of like, I mean, a rock weapon or a rock sword doesn't make, like a stone sword doesn't make any fucking sense. But I was trying to think of like, I don't know, what could you make? I mean, you could do more of like a fencing weapon that's like a pointy stabby and not really a swishy slashy. But then again, that would be just like, if you got a long enough bone from a big enough animal, it's like you could like just like whittle, like not whittle down, but like almost like putting it on a lathe and like shearing it off so it's skinny enough and then just sharpening a tip.
Yeah. Could do something like that. My hair blocked the ring light in a weird way and it made me freak out. I was like, the fuck is that? Is there a bug?
No, it's just an alien. That's all.
It didn't work.
All right, so you're into cosplay.
Yes,
what else are you?
Your turn. I'll let you go next.
Oh, my turn? Oh, okay.
Your turn.
One of my big things I'm into is a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm actually the DM for my group, which Elle is in. I've been doing that for like 2-ish years now.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. It really fucking is.
We started during the beginning of the pandemic. Oh.
Yeah.
That's wild. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're level
Well, you
6.
and I started back with the other DM. We like finished up that campaign.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
And then I slowly started. I don't remember what happened. Oh, no, I remember. One of our other players was supposed to take over, but he only had in-person stuff, not online stuff. And at the time, I was DMing for a group of my students when I was teaching, and I had been doing online with them. So I already had it like, oh, well, like, damn, let me just copy and paste this and we can just play this. I've done this before. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we've been doing it since 2020?
I think so.
Yeah, like before summer too, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
because
we've been playing that game for more than 2 years. It wasn't consistently though. We had a couple of stopping and starting points, but
makes
yeah,
sense though. Like I think people were moving or like things were happening where we just really couldn't play for a little bit.
yeah.
And we do bi-weekly now, so that spreads it out a little more too. We used to
True,
do
that's
weekly.
also it. We used to do weekly. I kind of miss weekly, but I also like having the more prep time for it.
Plus, like, it's nice to have like a Wednesday every once in a while. Like back then, we did on Saturdays or was it Sundays?
No, it was Sundays.
It was Sundays. And like sometimes if it went a little too late, it would kind of suck for work the next day. So I
Right.
like
Yeah.
having that day back because I almost started a new campaign with my roommate. He does it
You
on
never
Saturday.
told me about that. You were going to tell me about that last time, and then you never got into it.
Oh, well, nothing serious happened. He has a pretty big group that I think like 6 or 7 people, and
Oh, it's like
I
a group, yeah.
was, yeah, I was gonna play this little owlkin where he was either gonna be like a super small owl character or like a big lanky looking humanoid owl, and his name was gonna be Wormsley, Borbus.
Worms, Wormsley Borbus.
Yes, and he was gonna be an adorable little Gloomstalker Ranger. Would have been my first Ranger, but I don't know. I didn't want to play every Saturday, so I opted to not go into that. But
Yeah.
it was just a meh. Not this time. If we were doing it like bi-weekly, I would have been more into it. But that's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. But yeah, my favorite parts about DMing though are it's just the sheer creativity.
Mhm.
Like what I've been doing is like I haven't done my own like total homebrew campaign, but what I have done is take a module and then keep figure out, oh, I like this, keep that, and anything I don't like or anything I want to add or make different, I just kind of add in and say like, okay, how would this fit in here? And I really like that because I have enough structure to where it's like, if I don't really want to put forth the effort into creating a whole new whatever the hell else, I don't have to. But also it gives me enough like scaffolding support where it's like I can add in and drop my own things in wherever I want.
Mhm.
So that part's really nice. It's also really funny like presenting a thing to players and then watching them totally do not whatever the fuck you planned for. Probably
Like your
one of the
mole rats.
my moles. Yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about. My fucking mole boss.
Uh-huh.
So, one of my favorite games that I had played ever since I was 11 years old, RuneScape. I still play it today every now and again. And my favorite thing to do right now is they have a total optional boss. It's not even really for a quest, but there's a mole that you can go fight. And so I took that and brought it into this game. Had my first time creating my own like boss type interaction, my own boss course.
Mhm.
So like, and just because I wanted to try it, I gave this thing a layer action. I gave it some legendary actions. And you guys were like level what, 6 at the time, 5?
Yeah, like 5 or 6. That's when we still had the ogre, Linus.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you guys were level 5 then, I think.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they were just like, nah, we need to get out. And so, like, I didn't want to force them into it. Like, no, you have to fight it. But I'm just like, yeah, the hole you drop down to is like 30 feet long. It's a 30-foot drop. You got, like, the sides are grainy and it's like loose sand. There are no handholds. So what do they fucking do? The wizard uses cast enlarge on this, like, NPC ogre I let them have as a pet. Dumb mistake. And cast enlarge on it, so now it's like 25 feet, has an arm length of like 8 feet, and so this thing is just like whoop, just like grabbing the characters, putting them up on top, and it was just like I wasn't like mad, like pissed, I was like impressed mad, like, oh my god, they figured it out. They figured it out, avoided the whole boss encounter entirely. And like, what the fuck do I do with that? Okay, I guess you guys just walk on out because the mole wasn't gonna like get out of its lair. It just wanted to sit and chill and like.
You didn't even
yeah.
like introduce how that happened because
Oh, yeah.
I'm a dumb character.
No, you weren't a dumb character. I purposely preyed on a character flaw that I saw developing. That's what I did. You're not a dumb character.
To, like, touch everything.
Yeah. So another one of our characters who plays a ranger wants to create the I think it's Shrek 2 or 3, the Snow White scene where she starts screaming. I don't remember what 1980s rock song that she screams. Yeah. That one. And then, like, the whole fucking, like, swarm of forest critters come out. So, like, every encounter, she's like, is there a pet I can buy? Is there a pet I can acquire? And so, like, and then fucking Elves here's like, oh, I'll help you with that. Picks up the little baby mole that's, like, sitting there on the ground. And then, well, Mama can see that. Mama don't like that. And,
well, yeah, it's because we didn't see battle. Mama. We were just walking and Mama we saw the baby. And I was like, the poor baby. Let's help find its mom. Oh, I found the mom!
No, so that's actually really funny how I got that idea. So in RuneScape, when you fight this thing, it's like fur color kind of matches the ground a little bit. So there were a couple, like my first couple times trying to fight this thing, I actually like ran right by it trying to find where the fuck this thing was. And that is where that ability came from. I know there's an ability some creatures have, like gelatinous cubes, where if they are standing motionless and they are translucent and transparent enough to where if they do not move, they are invisible. They cannot be seen. Like, if you want to be a nice DM, you can, like, give them hints that there is something there, but they don't know it's there until it actually, like, takes a step. So I took that idea, built it into the mole, just like, nah, Ma's just chilling.
Ma's just watching her kids. You can see the baby, because usually babies don't get their camouflage until they're older. For, like, most animals.
Don't really have camouflage, but babies in general don't get, like, their hair
Yeah.
until they're older. Yeah, that part, yeah. So you can see the babies just fine, because they're, like, these little pink little things, don't have fur yet. And then Rufus. Mom is sitting over there in between the mountains, just been like, fuck you doing? You touch my baby? You touch my baby, I'll claw you. You touch my baby!
It's not my fault you left your baby out for me to touch! That's how I feel about that.
That's fair, that's totally fair.
Like, I was just like... Pando is my character. I fucking love her. Them. I try and do non-gender terms with them too, but they look very femme. And they just want to do everything. They want to help everyone, and just like they're a silly barbarian with a little bit of warlock in them, and they're just all over the place.
The funniest thing though is that, like, sometimes that has really helped the party out. Like, there was another encounter in that same quest line with the mole where, like, there was these two ogres arguing over who lost the cow. And, if they tried to sneak around and got caught, they would have been forced to fight them. But no, Pano just, hey guys, can we help you? And it was just like, fuck. Now I have to roleplay two bitching ogres. Or not ogres, what were they, Ettins or something?
Yeah, but they knew Giant. They were talking in Giant, and my character
that's right, I had them Ettins exactly, yes, because you knew Giant from your backstory, and I was like, nah, two Giant characters? Yeah, this is going to work here. See if they roleplay this.
God, and meanwhile, I'm, like, tiny compared to them.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, Pando's like the 4'9". Minimum height level for a dwarf or something.
Tiny human. Tiny dwarf.
Yeah. Tiny dwarf. Yeah. And God, that was just like, oh shit. I built this for a possible roleplay if they tried it, and I forgot to develop the characters of the Ettins. Fuck.
So you just had to come up with it on the fly?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of DMing, but that one was really stupid on my part. It's like, no, I planned this whole encounter assuming they would just not interact, and it's just like, have I not seen the party? Like, what am I doing?
We interact with everyone!
I know! I even knew that!
We just want to be friends with everyone.
I know. Kill them with friendship, right?
Yes, that's how we do. I'm trying to think, like, even with that one character that was like a ghost that you tried to spook us with, we tried to befriend her.
Favorite.
That one was wild.
Oh, no, I gotta look that up. Hold, please. I have to look that up.
Pause.
Stand out, stay. No, keep that pose forever.
I have to blink. I can't.
Nope, no blinking. I know it was like a CR like
Marezi?
7. It was an undead. It started with an M.
Oh,
and its whole thing was it's if anyone listening has watched Supernatural, it has the ghoul property where whatever it eats it can turn into for like X number of days. Starts with an M. Yes, how do you spell it? Yeah, that's it.
It's Maurezhi.
And that's a terrifying motherfucker. Look at that bitch.
Oh yeah, it was disguised. It was disguised as another person who it had eaten, and we were out trying to like map an area, and that thing attacked us. We were not ready for it, and our wizard almost died.
That was funny. So this quest line that they were on was called the Barry Bad Cartographer. There was a cartographer named Barry, of course, who would hire people and send them out to like survey this land to get a map. It's an uncharted area of land, and he was like, I want to make money on this. Well, the problem was his father or mother, I don't remember which one, was a very famous cartographer, and he wanted to follow in their footsteps, but didn't really quite have the skills. So he would send out, hire a party, send them out, and most of them did not come back, or if they did, they wanted to get paid for not doing the job because it was too dangerous. And the whole flaw for Barry was he didn't have enough information. He didn't know how to information gather about the area. Like, he didn't know to send people out and been like, so go to this place and tell me what the area is like. Like, he didn't know how to tell people to just observe and report. He was like, no, go scout out the entire area that I have no idea what's in it and tell me what it looks like. So the last party he sent out encountered this Marezi, and Marezi's having a thing called assume form. The Marezi can assume the appearance of any medium humanoid it has eaten. It remains in this form for 1d6 days. You got to roll a 6-sided die for that. During which time the form gradually decays until, when the effect ends, the form sloths from the demon's body.
I remember that. That was the
fucking
definition.
Yep. So that thing, it was just like they had met the last survivor, which was actually this fucking demon human baby eater.
Eater?
It'll eat anything. Even an elephant.
Stop it, you monster.
There's another story about that.
We could just tell stories about our group. Like, Jesus, we got 2 years worth of content.
Yeah. But yeah, they have a ranger that took the observance feats, which gives it's like a +10, I think, in passive perception, and they also took proficiency in perception, so they can like see everything.
Yep.
So I tried to give the smallest hint possible. Immediately she's like, nah, something's up with that bitch. Something is not right with that motherfucker.
Yep.
And sure enough, she figured it out through like just not even dice rolling, just context clues. And I didn't give a lot out. I purposely tried to make it really hard to discover. And this Marezi ended up summoning a bunch of ghouls, attacking the party. And then, just like, that was a good one. Mm-hmm. I like that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I can't. We're playing tomorrow. Our D&D group meets up every other Wednesday, so I'm like super pumped for that. And we've been getting better at taking notes and posting them up in the server for when we need to like update people who couldn't make it. It's so nice to be able to just look back and be like, oh yeah, this is what happened.
Yeah. Good for me, too, because I don't even have to remember. Just like, the party can tell me.
The party can tell me. Yeah, we tell each other, and in with that, you're just like, oh yeah, that's what happened. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Totally remembered that.
It's been 2 weeks. It's okay that we forget a little bit.
Yeah. All right, what is something else that you're into?
I like murder.
It's on the list.
I know.
You have a list. You can use it. It's not cheating.
I know. Oh gosh. Well, another thing that I would want to talk more about in our podcast is things just about like murder and murderers and just like the psychology behind them. I got super deep into learning about all the different types of them, mostly American, but I know a few from around the world too. The only problem is a lot of them that I learned about from a podcast that I was half listening to. So for me, I think I would want to dive back into a couple different ones and just kind of discuss them with you. Maybe see if I can spook you, get some weird faces or something. That'd be fun. I don't know, do you know anything about murderers?
Not a ton. The closest thing I do know to a murderer, though, is one of my favorite video game series, Assassin's Creed. In their Assassin's Creed Syndicate series, they had a DLC where Assassin's Creed Syndicate is set in like Victorian age London, like birth of their Industrial Revolution. What are you doing? Okay. Sound system's being weird.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, it's set in Victorian age / early Industrial Revolution age in London. And there's an assassin that goes rogue and ends up training his gang, like former assassins' associates, and trains them on how to hunt and kill assassins.
Oh, interesting.
Now, the cool twist about this, now this is all a total like fictional video game, but the assassin that you are hunting, that's hunting other assassins, ends up being Jack the Ripper.
Fuck, that's such a cool story because there's so many conspiracy theories of who he actually was. Like, have you ever heard of the murder house?
Mm-mm.
Murder hotel where I can't. It's
Hotel
like
sounds familiar.
it's like H.H. something, maybe H.H. Holmes. I can't remember his name, but he basically built a hotel that's made to murder people where like if you go into certain rooms you can be gassed and then drop down a chute to the basement where you be liquefied in acid. There's different staircases that led to nowhere, and so like people would constantly get lost, and he kept hiring different contractors. Like he would hire them to build a little bit, fire them, hire someone else to build another part, so like no one actually knew the structure of the hotel. And, like, I'm pretty sure he got that hotel by walking in and, like, either shooting or threatening to shoot the owners, and they fled. And so he just put everything in his own name. So there's just, like, yeah, that one's really cool. I would love to get deep into that one with you. That one's a fun one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That feels too, like, literature fantasy for me. Like, how the hell does that go so unchecked?
Oh, like, it was, it took them a long time to figure it out, because it was back in...
That's what I mean.
I want to say in the 1800s, but I don't think it was that far back, but he was able to get away with it, because the majority of the people he was having in the place weren't getting murdered. It wasn't everyone. It was mostly people who would hop off a nearby train to come by for, like, summer break or whatever, and he would pick off people from that, and usually if people don't come home from that, people are like, oh, well, they probably just, like, stayed over there or something. So it took them a really long time to actually catch on that he was killing people.
But how does no one in the group figure that out?
In the group?
Like, yeah, maybe I misunderstood, but from what I understand, like, a group of people come to chill for a summer. Is this, like, a group of people they all came together, or a group of people they all came from different areas?
Well, it's kind of all over the place. There are a lot of single people who would come down to visit. I can't remember where it was located, but it was popular enough where people would come down, need a place to stay, and they would stay at his hotel. It even had, like, it had a dining area, too, where below the dining area where he was cremating bodies. So...
Sounds like a very Sweeney Todd...
Yep. That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so that one's really interesting. I don't recall a lot of the details because, again, it was something that I had listened to and I picked up the stuff that my brain wanted to pick up. So that one I wouldn't mind researching a little and getting back to you. To people, whoever is watching as well. All right, well, your turn. Tossing the ball back to you.
My turn. All right. Yeah. Another thing. So, one of my other, like, really big things is video games, but that's too big of a fucking topic, so I'm going to narrow that down and go into Greek mythology. Greek mythology, I don't know a ton about, but I love seeing it portrayed in video games. Again, Assassin's Creed Odyssey does a really good job, I think, of portraying just the awesomeness of the Greek mythology and the gods that they had back in their time. Another game though that does a fan-fucking-tastic job of that is Hades. Hades is a roguelite or roguelike. I know there's a difference. I don't remember which one it is though.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game where it's like you kind of have to keep beating the levels over and over and over again. And oh god, it did so well with portraying historical accuracies of what Greek mythology was back then that it was the first video game to get a Hugo Award.
Yeah.
And I think that happened like last year or something, but like I'm sorry, that's still good enough to talk about. Like you have a video game that portrays the essence and belief system of an ancient society well enough to get recognized for a Hugo Award. Yeah. The first video game in history for that. Like that's pretty damn good.
Right, that's so freaking cool. Like, video games are just becoming so much more now. I'm loving it.
Oh yeah. I mean, probably the best part with that is if you haven't played Hades, you play Zagreus. He's the son of Hades. And if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you who the mother is because that's a cool spoiler. But anyway, you go through the game and your whole job is to break out of hell or break out of Hades and go reunite with your mother. Now,
Mama!
the characters, yeah, Zagreus though is getting help from the Olympian gods, not the chthonic gods. I think that's how you pronounce that. I might be pronouncing that word wrong.
Okay.
Let me get back to you on that.
No worries.
But yeah, they're helping him, and they think Zagreus is trying to break out and get to Olympus, and Zagreus is just kind of like, yeah, not really doing that. But the funny part about it is through the dialogue and story, you find out that Zagreus has an interaction with it's the god of wine and drunkenness. Fucking one of our players is playing a warlock genie, and that's her patron.
Oh, that's Mine's patron?
Dionysus.
Welcome
That's
to the
it.
cult of Dionysus. You couldn't
But yeah, it has an interaction with Dionysus where they make up this whole bullshit story of where like, no, Zagreus is actually incarnate of Dionysus, and it's this whole like pulling a prank. So Zagreus tells another character this whole story. This character believes it like flawlessly, writes a whole fucking song about it, and then like the last part of the interaction, Zagreus just goes, "Well, I hope that doesn't get carried away and gets like published somewhere." Well, funny enough, I have never heard of Zagreus as a Greek god, and it turns out there is mention of a Greek god named Zagreus, but it's very, very few and far between. And that whole bullshit story of Zagreus being the seed of Dionysus and actually being the reincarnate of Dionysus, no, that's actually fucking in the Greek mythology.
Huh. That's interesting.
So, huh?
Oh, that's neat. Sorry. I was just saying that was interesting.
And it was just like, no, I thought it was just some funny, dumb joke that they were putting in there. It's like, oh, no, that's actually part of the historical accuracy.
Making a reference.
They were making a reference. They were basically making it canon that this reference was real, and then they like looped it back into the game, and it was like, okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That is really fucking cool.
That's awesome. And like, I haven't gotten into Hades as of yet, but I'm also a gamer person. Oh my goodness. I've been playing a lot of Dragon Quest Builders too. That one is very much like Minecraft meets Dragon Ball Z and just like anime and building, and it's just amazing. There's a lot of little story behind it. There isn't as much character creation as I would like, so like if you have any games to recommend with more character creation where I can make my character look the most beautiful, please recommend, because that's another thing that we want to do. What?
The most full of booty.
The most full of booty.
Full of booty.
Booty full of booty.
Yeah.
Yes. That's another thing that we want to like hit on, is that I've played a lot of different games than you, and then we're gonna try and like swap games and see how we like them or not. So if you guys have any games you want us to play, drop a bit in the comments, because we're still new to all of this and I don't know exactly how to ask that question.
Yeah, same. Yeah, definitely.
The other game I really got into when I was younger is Minecraft. That one I actually met some people from a different state because of playing a bunch of that online. I started playing with these people that I saw their YouTube from a YouTuber that I watched, and I was like, oh, cool. So I hopped on and became pretty quick friends with them. And they only lived a state away. I played with like 4 different people and only wound up meeting one in person. I don't talk to him anymore, but it was a really interesting thing. Like, the one time I met people off the internet, and they weren't, like, trying to kill me.
Right, like our Gen X parents tell us.
Oh my god.
Everyone on the internet is gonna kill you.
To be honest, I probably almost got kidnapped once.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember this story.
This is a lot. So, basically, this random person added me on Facebook. Let's just call him Jerry. And after he added me, his cousins from Japan added me. So he made like 2 or 3 other accounts that were family to him. And so we would talk in like a group chat together. And at one point, he was like, oh, it was so weird. It's like, it's weird to think about because I was 15 when this happened. I was old enough, I feel, to like know what's real and what's not. And I was always a little skeptical about it. Right. Yeah. I got really close to hanging out with the fake hymns because he made a cousin account, a mom to the cousin account, and like 4 friends. He made a bunch of profiles to make this seem legit. And I don't know how, but he convinced me to try and go meet him at a mall. And my mom caught on and was like, no, we're going home. What are you doing? You don't know this person. And I deadass was like trying to lie and be like, oh yeah, I met this guy at a party recently at my friend's house.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and like it was funny because he got so pissed at me that I didn't go. He was like, yeah, I was waiting at the mall for hours. My dad dropped me off. And like I checked his Facebook a couple years ago. He was like decently older than me, had a family and kids at this point. So I don't know how many people he did that to, and
scary.
I'm glad my mom caught me when she did.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that could have been really bad. And I was not, I don't say I'm sheltered anymore. It was more like I just never was watched. So I just did what I wanted to, and I was never told, what was right and wrong. And that just felt like a fun thing to do. And yeah, I almost got kidnapped when I was like 15. I was a little baby.
Oh, man. I don't know if I could say I was almost kidnapped, but I had a very, weird stalker story about when I was, maybe 18, 19.
Which
makes less sense.
That's so weird.
Yeah. So, something else about me. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and I went to a diabetes camp in Arizona for, 6 years. Best place for me to have ever been in my entire life.
Aww.
So after 6 years, it was like, oh, I get to volunteer and go work at this camp now. And so there's one day out of the week they have a specially themed event thing going on, and it was a Pirates themed week.
Oh!
So I went to what was it? It was Spencer, not Spencer's. It wasn't no, it was Spencer's.
Party City?
It was Spencer's.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No, it wasn't Party. It was definitely Spencer's. They had a bunch of pirate gear, and I went and bought it. And I was so excited, I wore it out of the store. And this real big 350, 400 pound chonky dude comes up to me and is like, "Oh hey, I like your necklace." And he shows he has the same one and covertly tries to tuck it back into his shirt. And immediately I'm just like,
okay,
okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. I don't know you. I don't know anyone who knows you. So to come up and just show that we have the same necklace, it's yeah, it's from fucking Spencer's.
I just walked out.
Yeah, that's not significant.
Okay.
And then he tries to ask me what my birth sign is, and I'm just like, the fuck is this? Why are you asking me that?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just yeah, don't really know anything about that. Don't really want to. And he tries to tell me oh, well, where are you going? And I made some up excuse oh, yeah, I'm turning in my class registration for my next semester of college classes. Like, I don't know why I thought that was a good line.
Hey,
I came up
it
with.
Works. Just be like, throw anything out there.
Yeah, right. No, and then he comes up to me and he's like, oh, well, you should study the Wiccan religion in college. It's really good for you. And I'm just like...
Is it?
You know, I always thought, like, knowing what I know now about, like, the fucking angry preachers that scream at you for, like, wearing shorts in public, like, the angry, like, Jesus will murder you bros kind of people. It's like, so there's that, and then there's this.
Yeah, that's...
like, that was weird.
Nothing against pagans or any of that, or Wiccans, because, like, they're cool people.
No.
But, like, that's random. You were...
But that was, yeah.
Was he much older?
I don't know. I just know he was a lot bigger, and I wasn't actually in college yet, so I didn't have, like, I'd started doing martial arts when I got into college, so I knew nothing about how to defend myself if anything were to happen. But it also seems so out of place, because it's like, I'm a guy that played lacrosse for 4 years in high school. I don't look like an easy target. But this guy's like, and then to make things better, I start walking towards the exit out of this mall, and I'm pretending like I'm looking on both sides of me to looking at, like, other shops and see what else is there. And I can see him out of the corner of my eye. This guy, like, went this way and then did a Yui and started following me that way. And so now I have this big chunky dude trying to follow me, and I'm just like, I don't understand why I am your target. I don't know.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah, like, knowing what I know now, like, I would go, like, even with what I know with martial arts, I'd still go find a mall security guard and been like, so bitch boy over there is following me,
That would have scared him off alone.
Why. Yeah, right. Oh, I know, yeah. You go in and tell a store clerk, like, hey, this guy's bothering me, go find security. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would turn him away immediately, but I was panicked. That was my first encounter where I actually felt like I could have been in danger. And then it still haunts me, not haunts me, but, like, I still think about it every now and again. It's like, why did that guy want to follow me? I am not an easy target. I'm a big dude.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah! So I ended up, like, losing him through the food court area, going into this arcade thing and, like, hiding behind one of the arcade machines, which is such a bad idea, because if he would have found me, I would have been trapped. And so he checked behind a couple machines, walked out.
He looked?
And then, like, yeah, that's the thing! I, like, could have gotten caught! And, like, what the fuck?
That is so weird!
Yeah!
I was gonna try and excuse it, like he was walking your same direction, he forgot he had to go that way.
Like, I was hoping I was just overreacting. Like, I'm just being weird and paranoid because the guy was weird and now I'm weird. No, not even that. No, he, like, fucking looks behind fucking the arcade machines. And then, like, this food court area, it was PV Mall food court. So, like, there was this lower area, then that upper area, up those stairs, and there's, like, a little waterfall thing. Yeah, he stood on top of the waterfall rocks, like, trying to look for me. And I was just like, I kind of, he was looking that way. I started walking that way with another group. I totally did the really awkward thing where there's, like, a group of, like, 5 people walking here, and I just walk up right into them so I make it look like a group of 6. Anyone who's played Assassin's Creed, you know what that's referencing.
It works?
It worked. As soon as I got out, I fucking booked it to my car, went 80 miles an hour on to anyone from Arizona, knowing going an 80 on a 45 is almost normal. But not for me, it wasn't!
Right, especially when you're younger and learning to drive, you don't speed that quickly. Whoa, camera, what is going on? I'm a ghost! Technical difficulties.
What is your camera doing?
I don't know. It was doing so well. It was getting better at not getting fuzzy since I put the light on. But, like, I have a ring light right here.
That was really intense. I was like, you are being abducted by aliens. Oh.
That's crazy. That's funny we both have, like, creeper stories like that.
Yeah, right? But why do... Okay, but, like...
You're so.
I was like a football level player. I was a football level high school fresh graduated.
Beefy.
Like I was kind of bulky.
Yeah.
Why was I a target? It didn't make sense. I mean, unless there's something in like target psychology that I don't know about, like I really thought I was the least likely candidate to be a target of anything.
Right, like that's so weird. Like usually they go for people who are a bit smaller, skinnier, or like easier to take advantage of, but like
someone who looks like they either won't put up a fight if their physical body presentation does not look confident, or small enough to where they can just muscle and overpower and can like just strap down and hold really tight.
Mm-hmm.
I was about almost as tall as this dude, and I could have definitely outrun him.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
God, that's wild. I don't know what to do with that.
I don't know either.
At least you got away.
Yeah, I got away, did my pirate weekend, or by my pirate week thing at diabetes camp, and it was a blast.
All right, now lastly, you got one last topic.
I do. Yeah, my other super big thing I'm into right now is Batman video games and comics.
Batman!
I'm Batman!
I'm Batman!
So yeah, never hated Batman. Watched Batman the Animated Series as a kid. Absolutely loved it. I'm actually rewatching it right now on HBO, borrowing my friend's account for that. And God, they did some good. They did so much good in the animated series. The only thing I hate though is season 3. They like totally changed animation teams, and I don't like it.
Oh, I hate when they do that.
Okay, I'm sorry, but like Poison Ivy looks like the dark version of Kim Possible.
Oh, that's weird. That's interesting.
Yeah, nothing against Kim Possible. It's just like, no, you totally changed the identity for me of Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Like, I loved her in the original Batman animated series. She was good. They drew her pretty appropriate to the comics as like the seductive hot scientist who absolutely didn't give a shit about what you thought and felt and would totally like seduce men into carrying out her schemes. And they portrayed that idea so well, but at a much more appropriate level for like to be on a WB Kids show. And oh god, they just did it so well. And then
they swapped over.
And then season 3 the animation changed, which I mean I would probably be okay with, except they kept the original animation for the intro, song.
Title screen.
They kept that, but changed the animation. It's like, okay, if you're gonna change the animation for the whole fucking cartoon show, you need to redo the intro song or the intro theme, and that's what really bothered me the most. Is it just clashed so much,
and just reminded you of what was.
Right. Yeah. But what they did do really well is they did show more of Bruce Wayne's flaws. Not just being the perfect detective, but kind of being the insufferable asshole when he's dealing with Robin. And that was a little more true to character on the comics. It's like, you know what? I'll take the pluses with the minuses on that one.
Yeah, and like when I think of big visual change with animators changing and whatnot, you ever watch American Dragon Jake Long?
No, I have not heard of that.
Oh, it was so fun. So basic premise is this kid is in a family of people who can turn into dragons, and he's in high school, and that's when your dragon powers kick in, and he has to learn how to take control of it and how not to just go turn into dragon all the time. Kind of like Danny Phantom, but with dragons.
Oh, I would like that.
It's pretty fun. I like it. It's super goofy, and it is meant for kids, so it's going to be a little cheesier and whatnot, but I really like the overall story. But they had, I don't remember which season it was, they had a season where it was from one, like, super, I would say more soft, like, rounded character types to like super rigid and sharp, and it was just such a big change.
Yeah, that's kind of what Batman did.
Yeah, did they go sharp to soft or soft to sharp?
No, they went soft to sharp.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, are you trying to give it more edge? Like, you don't need to do that, or could have just been money things or whatever. But
right, no, and I was like, I didn't know anything about how that worked when I was a kid. I wouldn't have a clue of why they did that. But I didn't even see those episodes when I was a kid, or I don't remember seeing them. But like looking back on it now, I'm just like, no, it's so different. It feels like a different character entirely. For Poison Ivy, at least, because like she was one of my favorites. Like, God, they did her so well in the original series. Just like her brilliance, the science-ness to her, and God, I really liked how they did that. And then seeing her in season 3 is just like doesn't have the same feel to it anymore.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, but continuing from there, I really got into Batman when playing the Arkham Knight series, or the Arkham series. God, Arkham Asylum was great.
Yeah.
Loved Arkham Asylum.
Okay.
Arkham City, really loved the story for that. But the completionist in me, the collecting all the achievements and shit for the fucking Riddler trophies, God, that was so stupid. Some of them are like really there's some of them where you have trophies for Catwoman and trophies for Batman, and sometimes it's easier to get to them as Batman, but you can't grab it because it's a Catwoman trophy. And she has to go through this much more complicated route in order to get to her trophy. And it's just like, that's just being a bitch. Like, that's just such a pain in the ass thing.
That's interesting they do that.
Yeah, I can kind of see it like it's throwing up the challenge. Like, you got to it as Batman, now try to get to it as Catwoman.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, like, I can kind of see that, but it's just like, I don't know, I would like it better if there were areas where you absolutely could not get to as Batman, and you had to switch into Catwoman in order to get into the thing. But to have crossover where you can get to both places as the same character, to me just feels more laborious.
Yeah. Like
great,
why would you do that?
I got all the way over here. Yeah, like I got all the way the fuck over here. Now I got to go all the way back because there's only one spot where you can change into Catwoman or Batman. Unless I missed a step, unless I did something wrong.
Right.
So that was like my only real critique on that one. Then there was Arkham Origins, where basically it's like the introduction to all the psycho crazies. Oh my God. And this is the one that really got me into comics. I'm a little mad because my game got glitchy and I couldn't, there was a couple of achievements I couldn't get because things were buggy and it's like, I would have had to restart the whole fucking game over to get them. But no, they actually make a reference in Arkham Knight Origins to the first Bane series back in the 80s, where Bane figures out that Batman is Bruce Wayne, breaks his back over his knee, and leaves him for dead. They make a reference to that in Origins, and oh my shit. That's the only time that's one of the very few times I've cried playing a video game.
Damn.
And it was so good. It wasn't Batman, though. It was Bane he figured out who Batman was, broke into Bruce Wayne's manor, went and wrecked his lair, and then left Alfred for dead.
Oh, he killed Alfred?
Well, no, he left. He would have died, but as Batman, you go through a cutscene and you like barely get him resuscitated, and it's like I was crying until like I was crying when Batman's sitting there trying to get Alfred back up. That's one of the few scenes in a video game that has made me cry because of that.
Yeah.
And so, God, I told my friend Brian about that, and he's just like, okay, strap yourself the fuck in. I am giving you a list of comics to go get, and he started me off on the Bane series.
Okay.
Yeah, I read I don't remember. They're all packed away right now. I don't remember the order, but there was the prelude to Bane. I haven't read that one yet. I didn't know that was the actual first one, but I do have to get that one. Then there's Nightfall. Nightfall's the first one because it's in two parts where Bane has his last plan in motion and gets all the psycho crazies to just mentally wear Batman down. And then at the end of that one, he gets his back broken, and then Jean Paul Valley, not sure how you pronounce that. He takes over. He was Azrael, an assassin for the Order of Saint Dumas, or Saint Dumas, another pronunciation one, not sure of. Then he takes over for Batman, and he starts going a little crazy. And then there's one or two more after for that series I need to get my hands on. Mm-hmm. But oh shit, I loved that series. That series was so good.
All right. Well, real quick, would you want me to play one of the Batman games first?
Ooh.
And do you recommend?
I mean, I'm going to recommend all of them. And so as much as I am very particular in how you watch Star Wars, this one I would actually say you can go to Arkham Origins first, and then go back and play Arkham Asylum. That I don't think is actually a bad move, because watching Origins, I actually learned more about the characters in Arkham Asylum that I wish I would have had much more appreciation for if I played Origins first. Mm-hmm. Other people might highly disagree. That's totally valid, because there is only one way to watch Star Wars, and that is 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. And if you argue with me on it, I will fight you to the core.
So if I'm being honest, I think I'm giving up on trying to watch Star Wars, because when I first started watching it with someone, they started me 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got to like halfway through 5, and I just feel so behind in the whole franchise that it just doesn't feel like it's worth it.
Part of it is like, because the franchise has had 3 different starts. Mm-hmm. The 70s, the like 2000s, and then the late 20 teens or whatever. Mm-hmm. It may feel overwhelming. I will say, though, I would still suggest finishing it, just because
there's no end. There's no end. There's all the TV shows. Is. There's like all the new TV
those
shows.
Are optional. Those are all optional. Those you don't need to watch unless you're like a really hardcore fan. But just the original movies is the only thing I would say is like, give those a try. If anything, more just to watch the evolution in film. If anything, I definitely have my beefs with 7, 8, and 9. However, 8 has the fucking best fight scene I've ever seen in a movie in my entire life.
All right.
And my favorite part about it is that you don't just... So, like, my whole issue with Rey is that in the first movie, she's, like, good at everything. She doesn't really have any character flaws, and that bothers me in any setting. But in 8, you see her fighting, and you see her kicking ass, and you also see her getting her ass kicked. Mm-hmm. So it's not just beautifully mastered choreography. It's choreography with actual real sword mechanics. I was in 2 different lightsaber groups and a medieval, not quite reenactment group, but like a medieval, you had to wear 60 to 80 pounds of armor in a full fucking knight suit, and you swung with a fucking 2-handed greatsword. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that organization, the group I was in, they were so notorious for being the best fighters in the Empire, because they were part of an empire technically. It was very common that you would have 5 factions versus 3 factions. And my faction was on the side that only had 3.
Yeah.
If they had any more than that, they would wipe everybody else.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, they were that good. And actually, I don't think it's 5 and 3. I think it's more like two in the rest. Like they would sometimes get one other, but for a while it was really common because they had such a powerful win streak. It was usually all against them, and they would take out at least half the other people with them.
Jeez, that's intense. And like I never got into that stuff. The most I got into with fighting practice is I got into fencing for a little bit. And then I did martial arts when I was a kid, but that's more like deep ingrained into me, not super surface level. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. Maybe someday, but it's not on my list.
Yeah, no, definitely don't what's the word?
Force it?
No, not that. Don't binge it. Definitely don't binge it. Like, watch at a steady pace. But going back to Batman. Arkham Knight was the absolute most fun game because that's the one where you actually get to drive the Batmobile.
Oh my gosh.
The other three you don't. Yeah. The other three you don't. Oh god, the controls are real fucking wonky, and there are settings in there that you can change to make it easier to your liking. Learning the controls was a little hard, but after I got through that, it was so fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, recommend whichever one you feel you would want me to play, and I'll try and get around to it because we need to do that. And I'll try and find a game to send your way too because I have a lot of different ones that I like.
We had talked about this beforehand. I think we should start with Valheim and Dungeon Quest Builder first.
Oh, like swap them?
Only swap those ones. Only because, I never got into Minecraft. I couldn't stand it. It was like too sandboxy. But now I play Valheim, which is essentially Minecraft, but Viking themed. And I have over 250 fucking hours in that game, and I haven't had that game for I think more than 2 months.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that many hours in Dragon Quest, but I've also played that one a time or two before. I'm just playing it again because I just really like it.
Oh, absolutely. My coworker that got me into it, he has beaten Valheim 3 different times on 3 separate characters.
Oh, interesting. And I'm assuming that the character builds are different each time?
Oh, no. I mean, there is no, it's not like a character build with, you choose a class or you have point stats. It's you have your general skills, and they're usually, think of them like weapon proficiencies, and you just level them up depending on whichever one you use more. So, whatever is his highest weapon, it just depending on just, oh, I died and lost my sword, but I have my mace. I'm going to use my mace for a while. And then he never gets his sword back, but forgets to change, and then just uses the mace forever. And it's oh, now the mace is the highest. And it's very free-flowing that way.
Oh, nice. The Dragon Quest Builders is a bit less, maneuverable with that. You get your main character, and you get, you get different weapons that whenever you level up you get a stronger one, but it's mainly you have one path of swords that you get, one path of shields, and then the armor that you get depends on where you are.
Oh, okay.
But that one's more fun with the story and the trying to build different buildings and exploring and whatnot. It's super cute.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing is what is it? What does my girlfriend call it? My home goods. This is my rendition of being a home goods shopper, but instead of actually spending money at a home goods store for interior design, whatever, I am constantly redesigning and remodeling whatever base mansion thing that I build. And that's what I'm doing. I just finished remodeling my roof. It's actually I've raised it up a level so I can have some natural sunlight come in from the side. I don't have to have all torches on the inside for light. And that actually looks cool. I also figured out how if you fight a stone golem in the mountains, it'll drop crystals, and you can make crystal walls, which are essentially see-through crystals, which gives you glass, which lets you build actual windows.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll use that when I play, because that sounds fun.
Getting to the mountains takes a while. It's there's 6 levels of regions. Mountains is level 4. Very unforgiving. But if you ever do make that, I will start a character with you. I'll do a new character, because that's where it gets most fun, is when you have more people contributing to your little society that you're making.
Yeah, when you get around to Dragon Quest, I'd love to come see your houses that you make.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool.
I may give you some tips off screen, because usually
Oh yeah.
you'll have like a specific base for each island, and it gives you like a plot of land that if you build something on it, the characters in that land will use it, like a bathroom or something. And usually the monsters come from one section, so what I would usually do is build either like a giant moat right there for the monsters to fall into so they don't get you. Or I will just dig a giant hole that if they stay in there long enough and you just leave them alone, they'll just disappear. They'll be like, oh yeah, the monsters ran away.
They'll just despawn.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's a little cheaty, but like, I don't want my whole town to get torn up.
Thinking smarter, not harder.
Yes, yeah.
I've definitely seen videos of people making like spawn farms in Valheim where like... So two of the most common resources you need to build things are wood and stone, which you get from really easily. You get from killing with things that are called Grey Dwarves. Out in the Black Forest area, there's little spawn points where they'll just spawn and they'll search out for you and attack you. Well, if you use the developer's kit and go into creative mode, you can actually create like a column. Dig a column down underneath this spawn point, and then they'll spawn, drop down into this fire pit, and then you just run down, collect all the shit, run out. And you can create little
that sounds like Minecraft.
Yeah, it's very Minecraftian. But it's just like, there's a limitless amount of stone and wood just sitting at the bottom there, so...
That's awesome. I like being able to cheat stuff like that. That usually takes forever to catch or like to go out and farm.
Yeah, my issue that I have with it is the digging mechanism in Valheim is not great. You can basically the problem though is you can only dig down. You cannot tunnel through, so you can't make like an underground base of sorts.
Poopy.
Which is the one, yeah. Which is the unfortunate part. But with that though, it's like the way that it digs. You can't dig in perfect square sections like Minecraft. It digs in like a randomly generated radius, which makes it cool because it's more realistic. But if you're trying to like get perfect dimensions for a thing you're trying to make, it's like, oh, that's such a pain in the ass to do.
Yeah. Oh, well. I'll figure that out when we get there. Did you want to get through the last topic of the night?
Yeah, I do, actually, because I've been thinking about that all fucking night. So I'm excited for that one.
All right, I'll let you go first then.
All right. The last topic for tonight is, one of our titled segments. We call it In a Parallel Universe. In a parallel universe, if we had limitless time and resources, what would be our next cosplay? Well, this is going to come in two parts. One, I'd finish the one that I've been making since like 2020, which is my girlfriend and I watched Cells at Work together. It's an anime about a red and white blood cell functioning in a body. And that one's actually pretty medically accurate. On TikTok for a while when it was popular, there were doctors doing like reaction videos to it and like commenting on the accuracies, and most of them were pretty impressed with it. But yeah, so she was going to be red blood cell from the first season that got released, and I was going to be white blood cell. I have all the material to make the knife, but it's been 2 years and I haven't even started making the knife. So that would be one that I'd finish.
Yeah.
And the one that I would actually make, this one would be one of two things. Elle and I had talked about doing a cosplay duo together. We were going to do Full Metal Alchemist, and I was going to do Alphonse and make the whole like knight's armor set. So I'd want to do that. But if we hadn't talked about that, the one I'd absolutely want to do was a full realistic looking Batman one. With like all the LEDs, all the glows, having gadgets that like kind of look like they function, but they don't really. Like that is a full Batman suit is absolutely what I would like to make.
Yes, that would be so fun. And like
Oh
You
yeah.
definitely want to work on a Batman eventually, because I already have my Raven
will.
done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, if you were doing Raven, then I would want to do something. I would do like Cyborg or something like that.
Oh, fuck yeah, Cyborg.
Yeah, no, and Cyborg could actually really work too as like a Batman slash Alphonse-esque. Like, there's definitely elements of both of those that would go into that.
Mm-hmm. That'd be fun to make the blaster for it.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
All right, what about you?
if I were to make limitless resources, that's a lot.
I know that's that's the one right there.
I think it'd be really fun to make a really badass Jester cosplay. There was a redraw that someone did where they took the
Yeah.
characters and like made them an adjacent class. So they took Jester as a cleric and made her a paladin, and she's in this like
Ooh.
pink fucking armor with a giant mace,
Oh,
and like
that's
I gotta send it to
funny.
you because it looks amazing.
Yeah.
But like someone made that, and I saw it on TikTok.
Wow.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Oh man.
I love it. Yeah, I think that'd be really fun. Because I've been meaning to make a Jester, but it's another thing with Critical Role. They do so many little details with the cosplays. Like, you can get the base of it really easy, but, like, trying to build onto it and make all the things that they do, it's just a lot.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Especially the super, and it's more of just the artistry that goes involved with it, with the people that they contract with to make, or not even contract. I don't know how they make them. I'm assuming it's contract. They pay people for that shit. But for the art pieces when they display their characters on their episodes, that fits in that like bottom left corner. Like just Molly Mock's coat.
Yeah, I've seen
And,
people
like,
make that one all the time, and there's so much detail.
Oh, I would love to have one of those as like a bathrobe. That would be so cool.
I love Molly Mock. He would be another one.
Oh yeah.
If I could find a way to change my skin tone without actually putting paint all over my body, I would love that. That's something that I need. Just like put on a little patch, and then that patch just you push a button and it changes. I'm green, I'm blue, I'm purple.
That would probably be more. Well, you know what? With limitless resources, the expensive wouldn't matter. No, but realistically, you could probably get some type of like I don't know what. I don't like. You could probably find. There's got to be something like not a nylon, but some type of like thing you can put your hand through. Like, I mean, guess that made out of the same material as like a stocking or something.
Oh yeah, people have made those before where it's just like a stocking and they glue on fake nails to it so it looks like real hands.
Yeah.
I could do
Somehow
something
wedge
like
that in between the fingers, though. That's the part that I wouldn't know how.
Well, it'd be like gloves. You
I
know
guess
those
so. Yeah,
full
yeah.
body suits they do?
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
off the arms.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot easier, but then you still have to paint yourself depending on where your clothes stop up onto your face, and that always kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's what I mean. Face painting, that's just makeup, so.
Yeah, but I don't wear makeup for a reason.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I hate feeling it on my face all the time. I will do it every once in a while, but I can't do it on my eyes because I rub my eyes all the time.
Oh, that's so funny because I figured out how to
Sensory.
do my own my own
Ford?
Joker makeup.
Oh.
No, Joker. For my Joker cosplay, I absolutely just like, how do you paint your face? Oh, I don't know.
I remember
my first
that.
my first one I used really terribly low quality like stage makeup. It was like Spirit Halloween level like low quality. And then I like found a like $200 deal, and I think I paid like $30 for it on Amazon. And I still have it. I don't know if it's any good anymore, but that stuff, it's like, oh, this doesn't feel itchy. I don't feel like my face doesn't feel heavy, like I've got a bunch of shit on it. It just felt like I didn't feel anything.
Right. I
think if you also got to find the right makeup too, that works. That fits your face the best.
And fits your skin, because some people have drier skin.
Yeah.
They need something a little more oily. Some people have oilier skin, so you need a more powder
Yep.
stuff.
A little more. Yep.
Yeah, I use this stuff called Mehron, like Mehron. That one's a water-based one where you just mix a little water into it, put it on, and it dries, and then you can just wash it off really easily. But it stays on your face.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That one's pretty good. I like that a lot.
I have no idea what the company is called that I use. I use it once a year for Comic-Con for my choker, and that's it.
Right. Ugh. And like I've had that makeup for like 2 years now, and I have not used a lot of it at all. The most I've used of it recently was I would use the white that I have and do little white freckles on my face for makeup, because that shit's adorable. Alrighty, what did you want to do the wrap up?
Yeah, I guess we can start that off. Well,
Another awkward thing reading because
Yeah.
we're still new to all of this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Alright,
Well, thanks for stopping by, Flesh Bags.
we hope you enjoy the topics on this chopping block.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment for something you want to hear us talk about next time.
Heck yeah, see you later, guys. I love it.
No.
No, I love it. That was great.